Well, hello and welcome. Welcome to my world, folks. Welcome to another version of Talk Leadership with Cedrick. You know, everybody needs a little TLC, and I am Cedrick LaFleur, your host, and I am so excited to be here with you this evening. And we have a great guest in house with us, and we're going to get running here in just a second here. But, you know, Talk Leadership with Cedrick is where we focus on leadership and personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. And you know, our guiding leadership principle is the law of contribution, which says growing yourself enables you to grow others. See, you can't give what you don't have. So first, you must grow yourself in order to grow others. That's just the way it works, folks. We believe that outstanding leaders like yourself can help us to help others. So tonight we have another dynamic leader in-house with us. And folks, tonight we have a special guest in-house. She is not only a leader who is making an impact in her world, but she's also a family member. She's my little niece. Well, she's not little anymore, but she's my niece. So we have with us in the house Miss Alecsys Williams. That's my oldest sister's daughter. So welcome, Alecsys.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let me tell you a little bit. You know, I like to read and do a proper introduction about my guest. So let me read her bio for you. Alecsys Williams' love for cooking started in the southern kitchens of her mother and grandmother at an early age. Like many, Alecsys began to experiment with marijuana in its recreational form as a teenager trying to fit in. After an introduction to its positive benefits for her own headaches, Chef Alex, like she likes to be called, began incorporating cannabis into her recipes, marrying the two things she was most knowledgeable about: good food and effective stress relief. Since then, Chef Alex has launched Edibles by Alex, a catering business built on the premise that comfort foods can be enhanced through the addition of cannabis. In 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, Alecsys received her master certification in marijuana, adding additional knowledge to her business pursuit. Using her understanding of marijuana growth, cooking, and extraction law, and all the laws surrounding it, Chef Alex has built 2 training courses through Edibles by Alex. Cooking with Cannabis 101 is an introductory class offering cannabis cooking basics to attendees. She has also created Canna Leader course. I like that. Canna Leader course delivers instruction on learning balance, growth, and soft skills, in addition to confidence to those that indulge. Alecsys has also created her own line of cannabis cooking essentials. She is on a mission to destigmatize the use of cannabis through advocacy, education, and positive lifestyle influence. Alecsys lives with her wife and daughter. Cooking remains the primary activity that she does to relax and bring enjoyment to others. Her other hobbies include playing the trumpet, hiking, and enjoying a good game of chess. So let's welcome Miss Alecsys Williams to the show.
Glad to be here.
All right. So thank you very much for coming on the show. So, you know, I read a little bit about you and you know, some of the, well, most of all the audience know now that you're my niece. But, you know, Alecsys, talk about your journey to what really got you to where you are today.
To sum up, the overall journey is persistence, changing, like educating and changing people to show them a different way of thinking and living their life, and just wanted to be a better version of myself while still doing me.
Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about who you are. All right. Let's
Okay.
put the business aside for a second. Who is Alecsys Williams?
Alexis Williams is I'm pretty chill. I'm a good friend, daughter, family person. I like to enjoy life. I don't really like stress too much. So any way that life can be enjoyable and you can make memories without having stress, I'm all in. I just really like to have fun, make memories, and make my family proud and myself proud. That's me in a nutshell.
Okay. All right. All right. So you've grown in this journey, and you've been on this growth journey for a while, which has been
Yes,
awesome
sir.
to see. And what made you decide? What made you decide to get on a growth journey?
Because I knew that there was more that I was capable of than what I was doing. If I think back, all the way back, I really jumped into the growth journey. Let's say in 2010, I was in Vegas, and I knew what I was supposed to be doing, but I just wasn't living to that potential. And I always had you in my ear, kind of whispering things or telling me things that made me think like you are better than what you're doing, pretty much. So then in 2012, I relocated from Vegas to Atlanta, and kind of being in the environment, being around my older cousin and her husband, I was like, dang, I want this. I want to live like this. So they would always kind of challenge my notions, ask me, what's your plan? What are you gonna do while you're here? What's your plan? And I just spit out something that I was doing, like, well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a club promoter for the most part. I'm gonna be a club promoter. I'm gonna work at the radio station. I'm in Atlanta. That's what I'm gonna do. And that's not where I ended up kind of going. And let's see, fast forward some more, 2014, I ended up in Adairsville where I live at now. And this is where I grew. I grew here. I stepped into what my calling was. I realized I was not living up to my potential. And I just took the advice from you and my mom for the most part. Like, stop, pay attention to what you're doing, focus on yourself, develop yourself. And that's really what I did. I took all the advice that you gave me. I followed all your steps, read books that I really didn't read that much beforehand. So I started reading books and seeing how the details in the books applied to me or what I was doing, and I just applied it. And I don't think my journey's over. I feel like I'm just gonna hit like another phase of my journey.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. Growth never stops until you're in the ground becoming fertilizer for the ground. Okay. And yeah, the growth journey continues for those who want the growth journey to continue. So tell us 2 or 3 things that you've learned about yourself during your growth journey.
The main thing I learned
But
was that
hold on a second. Hold on a second. The first thing I want you to do is smile a little bit. You always smiling, but you're like really serious, folks. I just want you to smile a little bit. Relax. Take a chill pill. Relax a little bit.
oh, I'm
Smile.
chill.
Okay, smile. All right, now give us 2 or 3 things that you learned about yourself during this growth journey.
All right. Well, the main thing I learned was that I was my worst, I don't want to say enemy or problem, but I was the person stopping my progress. That's the
Mhm.
main thing I learned. I was always in my head thinking about it too much. And then the second thing I learned was that I'm a people person. No matter what, I'm good around people. So just roll off of that. That's the two things that I learned the most.
Okay, and I like the first thing that you said is, "Hey, I was in my head too much." So talk about that a little bit because a lot of people struggle with that. They don't listen. Um, to, well, they listen sometimes too much to themselves, telling themselves, "I can't. I'm not good enough. I'm not ready. I'm gonna fail. They're not gonna like it." So
Mm-hmm.
talk about that a little bit. When you were listening to yourself and in your head like that, what were you hearing?
The main thing was my cannabis use. I would tell myself like, well, you can't go for this position, or you can't lead or mentor people because you use cannabis and because of the stigma. So I would be like, well, you got to find another way to make it happen or to do something instead of just going straight ahead. So I would tell myself that, then I would think about it, and I would overthink on ways to suppress it or not really be my authentic self, just kind of
Mhm.
fake it, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So that's mainly what it was, and just really just doubting myself. Like I know I could do it, but I would doubt myself. So then I would question it, and then I would be in my head weighing out the options and all that stuff. And by then, time that went by when I could have just done it.
Yeah. Time flies by, people fly by, and all of a sudden you find out, well, it's 3 years later and I'm still in the same position I was in 3 years ago.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
Um, awesome. So then in this growth journey, why was that something that was so important to you? Because you were very intentional with
Mhm.
growth. Because look, folks, like I said, she's my niece, so she would send me text messages or call me and ask me this question or that question around, investing and how to do it. And I remember one time I had to tell her, slow down, you can't do it all in one day. It's great that you want to do it, but you're not going to go from $1 to $1 million overnight. Well, unless you have some other things happening. But but why was that growth journey so important to you?
Because I wanted to live up to my potential. I've always felt like there was more to me than what I was doing. So listening to my managers and stuff at work kind of keep putting the block up, not letting me progress, that I felt like it was holding me back from what I knew I was capable of. I was like, you know what? Instead of waiting for them to invest their time in me to move forward, I'm just gonna do it myself. I really have all the resources. And in doing that, I realized, I don't want to say I'm smarter than my managers, but I realized that I was smarter than them. I was capable of doing way more than what they were capping me on doing. Like they kept leading me. So I was like, I'm just keep investing in myself and to see where that takes me. And through these time, I mean, it's taken me pretty far, but I was really intentional about growing myself. And if I become a better person, that influence is going to work off on my younger siblings and my daughter now. So I just felt like I just had to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So, what I want you to do, Alecsys, is talk specifically about some of the things that you've done. You've took some classes, you read some books. I want you to tell the audience what you did, because here's why. You see, there's somebody, Alecsys, that looks up to you, and they may not know all the stuff that you did. They look up to you, or they are also looking for things to do. What should I do next? Right? They just don't know
Hmm.
what questions to ask or who to ask. So what I want you to do is talk about some of the things that you did, so that it's going to help somebody else who's watching you right now.
Okay. Well, the first thing that I did was I had a real conversation with myself in the mirror. Like it's kind of sound kind of funny, but I stood in the mirror and I was just like talking to myself, like telling myself what I'm good at, telling myself opportunities I have to work on, but just having a real conversation with myself. And then I would ask people of influence in my life, my managers, my friends. I just kind of ask them things about me, like, what are some good attributes that you see about me, or why are we friends, or things like that. And someone would tell me, you got a good personality, or you're really positive, things like that. So I would focus on that, and I would talk to you, and I would follow the things that you were posting because I want to excel in those things. So when you would say, you know what, hey, take this investment class, folks. You want to get your money right. You need to get out of debt and all that stuff. Pay attention. So I took the class. I literally took off work, so I knew I would have the time to do that. And if you know me, I don't take off work. So I took that as an investment. Like I'm gonna invest my time to miss work, quote unquote, and do this. So I did that, took notes, and studied it really hard. And then I had a conversation with my mom, and she was telling me about it was something she was telling me I needed to do. We just had a long conversation because I can't remember it all of it. And she said, just do it. Just do the stuff that your uncle's telling you to do or that you see. Don't really listen to the negative, just the positive, and go off of that. So that's exactly what I did. I blocked out the negative. I listened to the positive. I wrote it down like on my little wall thing so I could read it every night before I go to bed. And I just followed your steps. Like literally, that's all I've been doing is following your steps, and then make sure that what I'm doing is something that my family and myself will be proud of.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. And then you also jumped into our business boot camp.
Yes, I did. The opportunity was there. Like literally, okay, so COVID hit, right? And I'm sitting at home thinking about what should I be doing. And it's right here on my computer, like just telling me, it kept coming up on my timeline. So I was like, you know what? Why not? I mean, I want to have my own business. So what could this hurt? So I took the business boot camp, like invested. I missed the first time the sign up was coming on because I overthought it. I wasn't ready. So when the next enrollment time came around, I went for it. And great things happened because of that. I just did it instead of just overthinking it. The same thing with getting my cannabis certification. The opportunity was there. I had the time. So instead of overthinking it and talking myself out of it, I just did it. And look what happened. So mainly I just stopped thinking, like overthinking things, and I just did it.
Stop listening to yourself and start talking to yourself, right?
Yes, sir.
That's the concept. So, all right. So you got into the business boot camp. You took some financial literacy courses. You got into the business boot camp. You've been reading books. Talk about some of the books you've been reading.
I read and I did the cohort with Dr. Nick for the Adulting Your Purpose. So I did that and really like kept notes and took track of that. I've been reading, I got all my books kind of right here at my desk. So I read the John Maxwell like stack of books. The next one I'm reading now is How Successful People Lead. So that one, I had the 21 Irrefutable Laws.
21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership.
Yes, sir. That one. The Dave Ramsey, the Total Money Makeover. I have my 52 list for happiness. And then this one, I'm not really gonna say the words per se, but it was a good read. It's just In the Search of Good Living Without Love. And there was another one I was reading, Souls of Black Folks and Life. It's just a book about life.
Awesome. And the reason why I wanted you to go through that again is because there are some people watching are going to see this video. Are they watching you? They're following what you're doing, and they don't know what to do. See, so sometimes you have to start like when you get ready to make a cake, right? Mm-hmm. Some people can make a cake because they've been making them for so long. It's right here. But some people need the recipe. You add this much of flour. You need this much milk, this many eggs. Some people need that. Mm-hmm. So that then they can actually make the cake. So that's why I wanted you to take time to go through that and help someone else make the cake. Like I helped you make the cake. Now you're helping other people make the cake.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's talk about the next part of your journey is becoming an entrepreneur. So what made you decide to become an entrepreneur?
Waiting for other people to give you the opportunity to excel may never come. So why not just take them reins and do it yourself? COVID-19 allowed me that opportunity to really invest in myself and do that. Instead of waiting for somebody else to give me an opportunity, I was like, I'm just going to do it and take it from there. I mean, I have family members and I have other people that I know that are entrepreneurs. They show how well you can do things and how kind of, that's what I'm looking for like setting things up for not just you, but for the future. So I was like, I'm going to do that. If I do this now, my future families who knows what they're going to be like, because I didn't wait for somebody else to give me the opportunity to excel. So that's
Right.
what lit my fire and let me, it wants me to continue on this journey.
Okay. All right. All right. So you're sitting at home, kids gone, your wife's gone, your dog's gone. There's nobody else in the house but you and your four walls. What dessert are you going to eat?
I had to eat one. I don't really do dessert too much. I don't really like sweets like that. Simple brownie.
Okay, a
Just a
warm
simple
brownie.
brownie. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, simple warm brownie. So if you were having to eat something that you want to eat, what would it be? And nobody else is there. It's just you.
Tacos.
Tacos. Why tacos?
Tacos. I love tacos. Tacos are my favorite. You can eat it with chicken, shrimp, steak, beef, however you want it. I just love a taco. I don't know why, but that is just my favorite. I can eat tacos
Okay.
7 days a week.
Okay. Well, hey, go for it. All right. All right. Well, you go for it. So, so let's talk a little bit about Edibles by Alex. And so, here's a time to educate people on cannabis and the whole CBD market and all this type of stuff. So, first of all, why the name Edibles by Alex, rather?
That it just kind of came in line with pre-COVID. I was already selling edibles, and people would always ask me, "Oh, where do you get these edibles from? Who made it?" And I was like, "They're edibles by Alex." Like I just said it, edibles by me. And as I went forward to like, do I really want to make this a business? I was like, yeah, why not? Why not just use edibles by Alex? It explains what it is and who made it. That should leave no questions. So I just went with it like that.
Okay. All right. All right. And then, then you jumped into the CBD market, obviously before you officially started Edibles by Alex, but help us understand a little bit about CBDs.
Okay. So CBD can be used for different reasons. For me, I use it for my anxiety and my migraines. And I didn't really like the taste per se, like solubles, water solubles, or the little tincture drops. So I was like, you know what? Why not try it in some food? I mean, I've done it before with just regular cannabis. So I took the CBD flower that I could get here, and I just extracted it, made my own basis, and kind of cooked it up. I wanted to see if I could still medicate myself without the taste per se. So that's what I went forward with doing and things like that. And then I had other people and friends that I knew that want to try it out. They were asking me, hey Alex, I got one of my friends with lupus, and she was just like, I'm in a lot of pain, and I don't really like taking all this medicine because of the effects and blah 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 blah. And she was just asking me, what is CBD? How will it help me? And I was like, well, let's look up lupus, the different things that you have. And I said, with CBD, it will help you with your pain. At night when you can't go to sleep because your legs are hurting so much, just, try one of my cookies. Eat that before you go to bed. And it will help you with your pain, it will help your legs relax. And so she did that, and it worked for her. I had another friend of mine that just wanted a alternative so she can focus, focus on what she was doing, I guess. She felt like her mind was all over the place. So I was like, why don't you try CBD? It helps focus. It kind of helps calm you down so you can relax and you can do what you're doing. So she tried it from there.
Okay. All right. So who is your target audience for Edibles by Alex?
My target audience is men and women ages 24 to 54 that are looking to elevate their taste buds and their leadership.
Okay. You said 24 to 54?
Yes, sir.
All right. And they're interested in enhancing their taste buds and their leadership, is what you said?
Yes, sir.
All right, I like that. You helping them take the edge off.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. All right. So, you know, CBDs and people in my age, and range in my age range and older, you know, we may not necessarily be on board with it. A lot of it has to do with just understanding what it is and why and all that type of stuff, right? So, what are you doing to help educate people, especially in my age range and older, on edibles and CBDs?
I'm glad you asked me that. With CBD kind of being legal all across 50 states, and then you have the different states that are making regular marijuana more legal recreationally. I felt like with the question that I'm being asked, the miseducation that people have received early in life or just from seeing on TV and things like that, it's stopping them and not allowing them to see the full potential of what this plant can offer them. So I offer a class that I just teach the basic knowledge. We can ask questions. We can go back and forth about what CBD is. How can it help you, and how can you incorporate it to your life, either an edible or a topical, whatever. How that can happen for them. And then I have the cooking with cannabis class to help those that want to take it a step further and want to try edibles in their day to day life. I teach them how to make a basic base and then how to incorporate it in their foods in a safe manner where they feel comfortable. We can do it one on one like this we're doing now. I can come to your house and we could just sit and talk, make it, whatever. Or we could do like a classroom setting with you and your friends. So where it's just relaxed, you're kind of in a safe environment and you feel free to ask questions and really get information about what this plant is and how CBD can help.
Okay. All right. So then, how can they, find out about these classes?
Down in the comments, scrolling on across the screen, it'll show you my website and how you can book me. Or if you don't feel comfortable, you can email me as well, and I'll give you the same information. That's going to be down in the comments as well. Just you got to take the initial step though, and click the button or type in the URL or email me, and then we can go forward from there.
Okay. All right. And so, do you have any upcoming events that you want to talk about, or and if so, how can talk about them and then tell people where they can find out information about any upcoming events you have?
The only upcoming events I have from this point forward is the transition to phase 1 in Las Vegas. Go to my website, which is on the scrolling down in the comments, and you'll see the upcoming event that we have when we get on that end of the West Coast. Sadly, you missed my past event that I just had, which is the Small Business Expo here in Atlanta. And man, that's the only way I could describe it. Just
Okay. All right. You saying they blew your mind, blew their mind.
it did because I never seen in my life, my 33 years, I think about it, 33 years I've been on this earth. I've never really seen anybody kind of take CBD or cannabis itself to that type of environment. You normally see them like on TV or in a not so well light, but this puts me in a business setting, in a more, this is, oh, okay, what is this? Or you think of it in the same light as Coca-Cola or like Sprite or whatever your favorite food is, Hostess snacks and things like that. It just takes the stigma away, and it put me in another light to show people that it's not really as bad as you think it is. We educate you, and let's show you another way to elevate your taste buds and your leadership. It's
Okay.
okay, pretty much.
Okay. All right. All right. So for those people that say, well, cannabis, CBD is just, it's really just marijuana. What do you say to those people?
CBD is a cannabinoid that comes from the marijuana plant. It doesn't have the psychedelic enhancements That's THC. That's when you light it. The THC is fired off, and that's what gives you the psychedelic
Well, how do you light it again? How do you...
CBD is just the medicinal effects, the medicinal purposes of the plant that is treating whatever elements you have in your body. It will react with the cannabinoids that you already have in your body, the CB1 receptors or the CB2 receptors, and it'll do its thing from there, and it will really put your body back in its natural form of homeostasis.
Okay, all right. So what makes you smile every day when you get up in the morning, Alecsys?
The opportunity to help somebody else. That's what I look forward to every day. I don't know what I'm gonna do to help somebody, but I like that I got to wake up for one. I got to wake up and now I get the chance to help somebody else for that day.
Okay, all right. Awesome. So, a lot of times there are things that stop people from being their best version of themselves and going to another level. What do you think are some of those things that's stopping people from being the best version of themselves?
Themselves. The number one person that stops people from living to their full potential is them. Like, we're in our heads too much. We overthink things instead of just doing it. When you have the thought or the feeling, roll with it. See where it takes you. Don't really ask feedback from a gazillion people because you already know. God has pretty much already instilled it in you what you need to do or what you want to do. So just do it. Don't question it. That's the number one thing that'll stop you from being the best version of yourself. You.
Okay. All right. So we have a little segment that we have on the show that's called Would You Rather. So we're going to play a little round of Would You Rather. All right. And audience, you can play along with us as well. All you have to do is hear the question and you can answer it right along with Alecsys. Just put your answer or your reply in the comments. All right. So you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather meet your great-grandparents or your great-grandchildren?
My great-grandchildren.
Okay. All right. Would you rather have a life rewind button or a life pause button?
Ooh, that's a good one. Rewind.
Rewind. All right. Mm-hmm. Would you rather be stuck in an elevator or on a ski lift?
A ski lift, because you could look around and see an elevator. You just boxed in. That would make me feel a little anxious.
Yeah, but that ski lift, you stuck way in the air, and you know that if you move the wrong way, you're going to be down under where that snow.
Either way it go, you're going to fall. Elevator's high up, ski lift's high up. At least the snow down below. It's a little soft.
Yeah, with the elevator, I guess my perception is I can see the floor and I'm good. All right. I know we're stuck somewhere, but I can't see how high I'm stuck.
I feel that.
I might get a little claustrophobic after a while, but all right. So would you rather go skydiving or bungee jumping?
Skydiving. That's actually on my list.
It's on your bucket list, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck at that. Would you rather pick the year that you die or the way that you die?
The way.
The way. All right. Would you rather have free Apple products forever or free Wi-Fi wherever you go?
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. All right. Would you rather own your own private island or your own private jet?
Island.
Island. All right. Mm-hmm. Would you rather be able to read or be able to travel?
Oh, that's a good one. Travel.
Travel. All right. Mm-hmm. Would you rather have $1 million or 1 million friends?
$1 million. I don't like people like that. I mean, I like people, but with a lot of friends, that's just too much.
Would you rather be able to fly to the moon or be invisible?
Be invisible.
Be invisible. All right. So you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be sneaking in on people's conversations. Oh, that's what they're saying about me, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
All right, last one. Would you rather have $1 million in Amazon gift cards or $100,000 in real money?
Real money. I'll just invest it.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you for playing that round of Would You Rather. All right, let's keep going here. A few more questions for you, Alecsys. And thanks very much for sharing with our audience really around this whole CBD because obviously there's a lot of um, misconceptions or misunderstanding really
Mm-hmm.
around CBD and what it is and what it can do for you and all that good stuff. Um, so if you so if you had to go back and look back at mentors that you had, right? What would you say is one or two of the biggest things you learned in the last year, 6 months to a year from your mentors?
Say, get it done. Get it done. Make it happen. Trust the process. Do the process, and then see it through. Don't quit, even if it gets hard. See it through.
Yeah, a lot of people quit when it gets hard, and so for young people, that's your age, yeah. What would you say to them when for those ones that they're getting ready to throw in the towel? Somebody's watching this today, or are they going to be watching this sometime in the future, and they're thinking they're right now sitting thinking, this is too hard to be an entrepreneur. My business is not going the way that I want it to go. I think I'm just going to call it a day and quit and give up. What would you say to those people?
I would tell them, don't quit. What was this? We read a book together. It was Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice, right?
Uh-huh.
And there was a story in there that talked about the Field of Dreams. I want to say, or Field of Diamonds, one of them.
Yeah.
Like
Uh-huh.
that man, he gave up when he was that close because it was hard. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's time to quit. That's when your reward's gonna come. You already put in the work. It's only hard because you're tired. You're ready to get that reward at the end. And because of our generation, we're used to things kind of coming to us quickly or instantly. Just see it through. It's gonna come, but just see it through. Just keep going. Don't stop. It's not gonna come like that. Like when you just pop it in the microwave and cook. It's not gonna happen like that. So just tell yourself that already. But just see it through. You're already right there at the end. Just keep on chucking, digging, type whatever you gotta do. Just see it all the way through, even though it's hard. Wipe your sweat, get some water, but just go all the way through. Because just like that man, he quit, and then I think he sold all his equipment and all that stuff. And the next guy came in, finished just that last little inch of his journey, and voila, jackpot. That would make you so mad if you knew you were that close to it, and because you quit, now somebody else is reaping your reward. Don't let that happen. You control whatever it is that you got going on. So even though it's hard, just keep telling yourself, I gotta just keep going, just keep going, just keep going.
Yep, you're absolutely right about that. Yeah, it's hard. That's a part of the process. The process is just weeding out the weak, and the weak are going to just quit and give up, and somebody else is going to come in, like you just said, and reap your rewards, which is just amazing, right? So, what would you say is the best thing that's happened to you, Alecsys, in the last year?
Seeing that I had the potential all this time, that I was wasting my time, and that the influence that I have. Like I'm seeing how what I've learned and what I'm doing is trickling down to people, some not even people close to me, but other people I didn't know. Like it's trickling down to them, and now they're taking steps to better their lives. So I'm like, okay, cool, keep doing that. And then I'm sort of like the go-to person now for CBD knowledge, edibles, or just how do I do that, Alex? How can I do that? So I'm like that go-to person. So I like that. So I get to help and keep influencing. I love that.
Okay. So in what you say, 18, maybe 24 months, you gone from just being a person sitting on the sideline watching to a person becoming a person of action and now becoming the resource.
Yes, sir.
There you go. That right there, folks. If nothing else, Alecsys has said should get you moving. That right there should get you moving. Become the person of action so you can become the resource.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So you were a student in the Black Entrepreneurs Institute boot camp, right? And we talked
Yes,
about
sir.
why you wanted to enroll to help you. But tell our audience some of the things you learned while you were in the boot camp that helped you in your business.
Branding, how important it is. And I don't remember that lady's name, but when she came and talked to us about branding, from the shapes, the colors, to
Uh-huh.
everything, how it helps in your process. Money, Jason, when he taught us about the finances, from your budget to the bottom line, how everything kind of ties in line. Even though you're not the expert about it, if you're going to own your own business, you better know the basics so you can grow your business and go broke. And then Marcus Garvey, I think his name was, the guy from Houston. His story was just inspirational because he never quit, even though he was like, his friends knew he was that person who's about to come to them and be like, hey man, I got an idea or something like that. He's just still never quit, and he just kept going, no matter what happened. He learned from his mistakes, and now look at him. You know, he's like he has
Yeah, you're talking
a
about Marcus
restaurant or
Davis,
something
the
like
owner of the
that.
Breakfast Club in Houston.
Davis, yeah, the owner of the Breakfast Club, yeah, him. Like he just kept going. He saw it through, and now he has multiple businesses, and he gets to help people in his community now because he didn't take none of the negative. He just turned it into a positive, really, and learned from his failures. So those
Yeah.
are the main things I learned in the boot camp.
Awesome. Well, um, uh, going to these type of classes and programs are always beneficial to people, and now you're offering classes, right? And we talked about earlier. I'm going to put it back up on the screen, audience, so that you can, and it's going to be in the comments as well, so that you can go and enroll in some of the courses that Alecsys is hosting with Edibles by Alex. So you're going to be transitioning from East Coast to West Coast at some point. Is your Are you still going to be offering these services when you
Yes, sir.
transition?
Yes, sir. Everything can be done virtually now that we learn. You can live your whole life virtually. So I can offer them virtually or in person, whatever. We'll make it happen no matter what. The education is very important, especially with it becoming more legal and freedom across the board. Like we gotta educate people and let them know like the things that you know before, the stigma, whatever. Like that's not what it is. So just take the basic knowledge, take it from there, and then do what you want to do with it. But education is, I think, very, very important now.
Okay, awesome. So you've had a lot of successes. But we all go through life, Alecsys, and we all have had failures, right? So talk about a failure that you've had, and a failure experience that you had, and what you learned from it, and how did you overcome it?
The main thing that sticks out is for so I work in the hospitality industry, right? And I felt like with my skill set and what I bring to the table, that I should have been way further in the corporate world than what I am. So I felt like I played by the rules, followed the steps, but I didn't get them opportunities to excel. And taking tests stresses me out. So I had to take a manager test pretty much. And I was stressed out about it. I failed it the first time. And I was like, dang, but I know this information. So I took it again. And I passed it the second time. And then an opportunity came up to progress in my career. So I applied for it. The opportunity didn't come. You know, they fed me some lines, tell me why I couldn't move forward. So I was like, okay, well, what do I need to do to move forward? So I did all those things, but yet again, I didn't get to move forward. And it's like, well, dang, like what's going on here? I feel like I have all the requirements. I'm doing everything you're telling me, but it's just not happening. Like, golly, like, and it made me feel this big. Like I wasn't doing something right. Like, what is it? So I just started getting more in my head. Like, what is it? What am I doing? That took like a setback to me, and I was just like, man. But I learned from it, and then I flipped it around, kind of made it a positive, and learned from the things that they were telling me on what I need to do to move forward. And then I realized that I really don't want to move forward with this company. Like just from not having them opportunities. So I took that failure and really flipped it around to live the life that I'm living now.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, what is the best way for a listener to connect with you and be in alignment with you?
Yeah, and find me on Facebook if you're Facebook friendly at Edibles by Alex. You type that into your search engine and it'll come up, Edibles by Alex, and then you find all information there. Instagram, your girl Alex. You can follow me that way, and we can talk, network. LinkedIn, if you're one of those people that use LinkedIn a lot, we can network on there. Just type Alecsys Williams. And then in person, if you come in person, if you see me on the street, you come to Georgia or Atlanta, catch it that way, or go to ediblesbyalex.com, and we can link up, we can talk, network, teach, whatever. So social media, email, and in person.
Okay. All right. So they can just reach you anywhere.
I'm not hard to find.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like that. So you had a favorite vacation spot. Where is
it? Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Okay, all right. Now I love Lake Charles, right? I love me some Lake Charles. I'm born and raised and from Lake Charles, but it's not normally like the vacation spot. I don't see the big sign that says vacation in Lake Charles. Why Lake Charles?
Because my whole family's there, and I like family, so I never have a dull time when I'm there. I get to eat some good food. I really don't have to spend money on food because everybody cooks for you. The minute they know you coming home, everybody cook. That's like the thing. Hello, you hungry? Like, sure. You can't turn down a meal because that's like slap in the face. So I get good food. I get to see all my family, my childhood friends, and just kind of have fun. I mean, there's really nothing to do in Lake Charles, but we always find something to do.
Okay. And Lake Charles city officials don't be calling us saying there's stuff to do in Lake Charles. We know that.
We know.
Well, that's awesome. So, hey, here's my last question for you, Alecsys. If there was a book that was written, look like I may not have a last question for Alecsys. You've been listening to, she probably got disconnected internet wise, so we'll see, give her an opportunity to jump back in. But you've been listening to Alecsys Williams with Edibles by Alex, and hey, welcome back.
Hey, sorry about that.
That's all right. I said, hey, here's my last question, and you just jumped out and said, I'm out.
Mic drop.
I'm gonna call your mama. I think I know her.
Good luck if she answers.
Hey, so if there was a book that was written about you, what would the title of the book be, and what would the summary in the back of the book say about you?
So if there's a book about me, I would definitely hope it's entitled "Your Girl Alex." She came, she made it happen, and it is what it is.
Okay, that's a long title. Okay, and what would the summary in the back of the book say about you?
It will talk about your girl Alex was a complex individual, but she made life her own. She didn't let naysayers, made it happen by any means necessary.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, any parting words, any last words that you want to tell our audience or leave our audience with before we say goodnight?
Pay attention to your surroundings. There's always greatness in you, and just make it happen.
Awesome. Well, that's easy to remember, and there's definitely always greatness around you. You just have to go out there and be great. I want to thank you very much for coming on the show and adding value to our audience members. Click on the link and go check out Edibles by Alex, and you'll be doing me a favor. You'll be doing her a favor, and I definitely appreciate it. So again, as I always tell you, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, and